Ashe Gems. Welcome to the Empress Empire. I'm your host with the most. I'm your host with the most, Ashanti, or the Sacral Empress. And today, y'all, we are going to be talking about manifestation. Okay. So, by a show of hands, how many of y'all are aware of what manifestation is? How many of y'all, when y'all hear manifestation, you're like, oh, yep, I know what that is. I know. Oh, look at that. We got some people that know. We got some people that know what's up. So that is today's topic. And I was saying a little bit about it early before I had started recording, but this is something that I struggled with a lot because I was very pessimistic and I didn't really believe that you could manifest your dreams. And I was a very big dreamer. Like I was very big on you know, just kind of hoping for the best and manifesting the beautiful things in the world. But at that point, when I was growing up, I was like, I can't do that. There's no way. Like if you told the younger me that I was going to be a tarot reader, I was gonna have my own business and all that other shit, I probably would have looked at you and laughed. Like I'd be like, really? Really? Because my teenage years, I wasn't really too big on you know, anything because at that point I was just kind of super down in the dumps. But as I got older, I started to learn more about myself and I started to meditate more, and it opened me up to manifestation. So, my relationship or my journey, I guess I should say, with manifestation hasn't really been rocky as of recently. But starting out, I wasn't really thinking like things were going to fall from the sky, come to me. Like, I always felt like I had to work for what I wanted. And I feel like that part is pretty true still. It still stands. But I do think that a big part of my life was being more so like always working, always like going out and getting it. And honestly, I didn't know what I wanted at the time. I didn't know what I wanted. Just fresh out of high school, like no care in the world, thinking I'm grown. And I wasn't. I was not grown at all, not even the slightest. Okay. Thought I was grown and didn't have a grown bone in my body. So when I had first started manifesting, I got a journal. Okay, I got this journal from the dollar store. I literally get all of my journals from the dollar store. Don't care. They just have composition notebooks, and I like those better. So I just remember getting one. And I remember, I think I still have it actually. I should have got it out. I should have got it out for research purposes. So maybe later I'll bring it out and read some things that are in there. But I just remember writing things down like affirmations and goals, and in 2021 I want to have this, in 2021 I want to have that. um in 2021 I don't even think that's more accurate. I think that was like me manifesting, because I had learned to put a date on it, and that was something that stuck with me. I remember listening into a Zoom call with this millionaire or billionaire, I don't know, one of the two. Man just had money. Okay, man just had a lot of money. I remember him telling me that you're going to want to put a date on it. You're going to want to write a date beside it, put it on your calendar, put it somewhere, put a date on it. And not putting a date on it in the sense of you're going to have these things by that time, but putting a date on it to know that it's going to come. Like you have a I don't know, like you have a deadline for the manifestation, if that makes sense. Like you have something to look forward to. Um, and he said he did it. And sometimes the manifestations would come earlier, than what he had expected. And I was like, So I tried it. And I used to put like the year, never put like an actual like date, like, oh, January 5th, 2022, I'm gonna go get a car. Like I never wrote it out like that. I would just put the year because I had year goals that I wanted to set. So I'd always put the year. And then he had said to get a visual representation of whatever it is that you wanted to manifest. And he said that he had like a picture frame of this jet that he wanted to get. And eventually he got it. So then he kept it there. And he said that, if you keep it around you somehow, some way, shape, or form, you're going to have it in your reality. And that's when I learned that visual representation is a really great way to manifest. And I'm telling y'all this because a lot of us, we don't believe that we can experience the things that we want to experience. A lot of us feel like we have to, work hard. A lot of us feel like we have to, yeah, it just goes back to working hard. Honestly, a lot of us feel like we have to work for these things. So for me, I was big on vision boards. So I would make a vision board. I got a vision board as my lock screen, as y'all can see. I'm gonna let y'all see that real quick. Oh, not the blinking, but I got a yacht on here. I got a beach here. I got a girl like just showered in money. I got some fruits. I got more money. And then I have like these vacation spots. And then I have like an apartment there too. Um, so vision boards have always helped me. And I always make it my lock screen because it's the first thing that I look at literally in the morning, not even going to sit here and lie. It'll either be the first thing I look at in the morning and the last thing that I see at night. So why not keep it in my face? And that's one of the biggest things. That's probably one of the biggest things that I stress to people is that if you do not believe it and if you can't see it, then it's going to be very hard for you to manifest it. Because the biggest thing about manifestation is your faith. Do you believe that you can have these things? Do you believe that you deserve these things? So I want y'all in the comments to let me know. It could be one thing, okay? It could be one thing. It doesn't have to be everything. If you want to put everything, that's perfectly fine. But I want y'all to think of one thing that y'all are trying to manifest right now. For some of us, it could be a car. It could be a home. It could be some money. It could be so many different things. But I want y'all to comment down below, what is something that y'all really want to manifest right now? Something that you feel like you need, something you feel like you deserve. Hell, it could just simply be a vacation, okay? Whatever your heart desires. But I want y'all to share what it is that you're manifesting right now. Excuse me. You got money and career, okay? So with money and career, if you want to make a vision board for that, you can do like money, obviously have some money. You can put your dream career, you know what I'm saying? Pictures of that, whatever that would look like. And go from there, if you want to do a vision board. I'm not going to list many, many different other methods and, ways to manifest. But, if we were to just do the vision board idea, then we could take it there. So I'm going to take it there with some of y'all's things that y'all put. So I got education and travel. So I love that. You can get like a plane. You could put a plane on there. You could put like some books on there, get real creative. And that is literally my steps. And I'm not going to share my steps too soon because I feel like we're going to get there. We're going to work towards that. I don't want to just be like, here's all the steps. Y'all go have a great day, because I feel like it's more than the steps. It's your relationship with yourself. It's the way that you think. It's the way that you speak. All of these things matter. So even if I tell y'all what the steps are, you're still going to have to do some work. There's still things that you're going to have to do aside from that. So listen very closely, guys. Listen very closely. I'm doing ASMR. But my biggest thing with manifestation is that if you could feel it, feel it. So I want you guys to close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. I'm closing mine. So y'all better close y'all's. Then try to close y'all's eyes. And I want y'all to think about what it feels like to have this said thing. Okay. What does it feel like to have the dream job? What does it feel like to have financial freedom? What does it feel like to have a new home? And as you're feeling it, I want you to visualize it. What does this thing look like? Is it shiny? Is it gold? Is it black? Is it purple? Is it green? I want y'all to take the time to just close your eyes and feel what it's like to experience this said thing. Okay. It's okay, Gabby. You can still feel with your eyes open. You can still feel. What's that? Could you tell me what that is? Because I got all the alternatives. I have all the alternatives. We will find a way around whatever this is. But let me know. I would love to know. I'm very intrigued. But for those that can, allow yourself to visualize and allow yourself to feel. They say that feeling is the secret. Okay. So when you feel this, you're tricking your subconscious mind into already experiencing this said thing. So it makes it very easy for this to come into your reality. So when we feel it, when we visualize it, when we can hear it, when we can taste it, when we can kind of touch it, it allows us to bring it into our lives. I definitely understand. I understand. But if you want to just set the intention, that works too. Intentions work just as well. So if you would rather set intentions, you think that will help you out a little bit better, then I would recommend that. Or even writing it down, being descriptive. We'll get into script writing too, because I know a lot of people love to script. I'm very big on scripting. So I'll share that method with y'all too. But that's just one method out of many that we'll touch base with. So yeah, is that me? But yeah, so that's one trick. Okay, another trick. I think I'll go ahead and get into scripting. Actually, we'll go ahead and talk about scripting because I feel like that's one that is it's easy. It's easy, but it's also like I don't know, people avoid it. So scripting is where you're like describing something. Oh, I need to spotlight myself. Oops. There we go. I had it pinned for some reason. Um, but with descripting or describing, why do I say descripting? With describing whatever this is, that helps. So if you can't make a mental picture, you can always write it out. Writing is so powerful. Our words hold so much power. So when you put pen to paper and you're writing out whatever this is, so like for example, I want to travel with my job. I want my job to give me that freedom to just travel and sustain myself financially. So what I would write out is, you know, I'm on the beach somewhere giving someone a reading. The beach is really nice and pretty. And it's, like I basically just go into describing the scene that I'm in or, the vibe that it gives or, how I want to go about traveling and what I want to do. So it's really just allowing yourself to be very descriptive and specific about what it is that you want to experience. So if you guys are having a hard time like coming up with mental pictures or you can't, that is an alternative for more so like visual, effects when it comes to receiving and manifesting and all that good stuff. So they're scripting. If y'all want me to elaborate on these, just let me know. I just don't want to like run over and, do too much talking on all of these different ones since there's so many different ways to manifest. But that is scripting. So we talked about visualizing, we talked about feeling, we also talked about how we can just write it out. Now this next one, let's brace ourselves. But this next one, I feel like a lot, like it's more like mainstream, like everybody's doing this. But this is the 3-6-9 method. Now the 3-6-9 method is a little more complex, just in my personal opinion. So I tend to avoid it. But with this, you'll write down whatever that thing is that you want 3 times, and then you'll write something else 6 times, and then you'll write something else 9 times. Is that still, what do you mean? Oh wow. I love that. Claudia knows what's up. Claudia knows what's up. Claudia is psychic. But yeah, the 3-6-9 method, I don't really subscribe to that one just because I'd rather just write it out. As like because I'm a storyteller anyway, so I like to write things out of stories. So that's how I do it. It's usually how I do it. But yeah, the 3-6-9 method is cool. I see a lot of people doing it nowadays, but it's not something that has really worked for me. And honestly, I've tried it and I just don't feel like it's my cup of tea. But if anyone is interested in the 3-6-9 method, y'all can look into that. I think they have some YouTube videos out there about it, just going more in full detail. But yeah, the 3-6-9 method is cool. I don't mind it. I love the number 3. I love it. I love the 3-6-9 method, period, just because of what it represents. But it's not really the one that I always go to because I'm just more visual. I'm more like, descriptive, more hands-on with my manifestations. So the next one is what y'all see behind me. Okay. Behind me, y'all see a lot of art. Y'all see a lot of y'all see this. Y'all see it all, right? That's one of my favorite ways to manifest. So art to me, and I think this could kind of go back to like the visual and even the vision board, but it's a little bit different because you're putting you in it. You're basically putting that energy into whatever it is that you're painting. So you could do this with drawing. Hell, you could probably get away with coloring too. So if y'all don't know how to draw and paint and all that stuff, then y'all could definitely get a coloring book and try to set some intentions with that. But I've just found that it's helped me so much. I actually had an Ace of Pentacles painting that I did. My niece messed it up, but I had an Ace of Pentacles painting that helped me like attract more money. So if y'all find yourselves at any art shop and y'all want to like find a way to arts and craft your way into getting that new car or getting that new house or whatever the case may be, I say go for it. Okay, go for it. Do not be scared to get active on that, on whatever it is, whether it's a canvas, whether it's a coloring page, whatever the case may be. I hope this isn't like too loud. Maybe I can just sit back here and like it still picks up my voice. But yeah, art is a really great way to manifest. Our words manifest. So music would be a great way to manifest as well, you know, making songs, writing out lyrics, and going from there. And even I found that lists are really great too for manifestation. I really want to find my journal. I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Whenever I find it, I'm gonna show y'all because I have a lot of stuff in there. I have a lot of stuff in there. But what I was saying, the lists are really good, especially if you want to keep it simple. Okay, if you're somebody like me that doesn't want to do too much, just kind of wants to keep it simple, you can make lists. Okay, now Christmas list that I know some of y'all have at least done a Christmas list at least one time in your life. Anybody, anybody. I actually made a tweet a long time ago. I was like, you know, you're a powerful manifester now when you were making Christmas lists back in the day. You know, like that was something that I was big on. I was like, Santa, I want this, I want that. 9 times out of 10, I would get those things. But as adults, we probably feel like, oh, Santa's not real. You know, who cares? Um, but lists work. Lists really do work. I actually wrote something out this year about what I wanted to receive, like as far as my manifestations go. And I received some of those things. I received some of those things already. I mean, the year is almost over with, but it was like April or something like that when I did it. And everything damn near that I wrote out on that list has come to pass. So if you want to keep your manifestation simple, you can do that. Okay. It really just takes a strong belief system and it takes a level of faith. And it really just takes you to participate, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you're doing. So it's just kind of showing the universe that you care, like you care about whatever it is that you're trying to align with. So now we're going to get into the steps. Okay. So if y'all don't have a pen and paper, I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell y'all. If I don't have a pen and paper, I don't know what to tell y'all, but I have here 4 easy little steps I'm sure anybody could follow. But if not, then that's perfectly fine because we're going to get into it. Okay. So are y'all ready? Y'all ready for the tips? Y'all ready for the, well, not the tips, but y'all ready for the little step by step? All right. So I call this the 4 C's. The 4 C's. 4 C's. I'm not a crip or anything. I just wanted to throw that up there. It's just regular C. All right. So the first, oh my gosh, all this noise. What the hell? Move all this stuff out of the way. I'm like all this noise, and then I proceed to make more noise. Okay. So the first C is control. Take control over you, your mind, your emotions. Take full control, responsibility, accountability, all of that. You're going to want to take full responsibility for where you're at right now, your current life. Like, this is where you get back into your power. Okay. Taking back control from other people in your life, whether it be your parents, whether it be teachers, whether it be your ex or your cousin or your sister, your brother, whoever. You're taking back your power. Okay. With control. That's the first C. It's the first thing you want to do because you don't want to manifest and then have all these people in the midst of your manifestations. You know, you don't want that energy to be mixed all together. We don't want that. We just want to solely focus on whatever it is that we're trying to make happen in our lives. So you don't want to necessarily have your mom's energy in the mix because sometimes we don't know what people's energy consists of. So first step is control. The second step is to cleanse, okay? Cleanse your space, cleanse your energy, take a nice warm bath, shower, whatever you got to do to cleanse you, excuse me. You're going to cleanse your space, okay? cleanse your space, play some frequencies. Do what you got to do to cleanse your space. A big part of this is that we hold a lot of clutter. Okay. I've noticed this, a lot of us, we hold a lot of clutter. We like to collect things. We like to just hold on to memories and all of that stuff. Sometimes those things are just in the way because when you think about your manifestations, let's say it's a car, for example, we want a car, but our home is full of all of these tangible items that are really just sitting around collecting dust. We're not going to have space in a room for this car because we're holding space for all of these other things that we're not using. So you're going to want to cleanse your space. Okay. That's me too. Y'all should see this bookcase. I have like hella books on my bookcase. And I know when I had I'm trying to figure out how to like preserve my energy. I'll just talk like so fast. But I know before I had got my taxes, I decided that I was gonna just clean my room, like clean out my closet full of clothes. And then I remember like not even a week later, my money comes and I'm like, ooh, I'm going shopping. And now I'm in that space again where I'm like, I gotta get rid of my clothes again. I have to get rid of my clothes again. So a big part of it is, holding on to so many other things. Our energy is being taken up by so much that when we start to detach ourselves from certain things, we start to accumulate more of what we're manifesting. So that's the second C. The third C, a lot of people are probably not gonna like this C because I don't like this C. A lot of people are not gonna like this. But the third C is cry. Okay. Cry. Now, I don't mean that you have to actually cry, because if you don't follow the third step, it's not like your manifestations aren't gonna come. But I'm telling y'all that our emotions hold so much power. Okay. It is very, very important that you allow yourself to feel. Okay. Because we know what it's like to not have the things that we want. We know what it's like to be at a distance from, love and compassion and freedom and all of this. We know what it's like to feel that. So when we allow ourselves to feel what it is like to have these things, you'll start to see a shift. Okay. Now, take y'all on a little journey real quick, like a little story time. So I remember for a very long period of time, I wouldn't say I was atheist, but I would just say that I just had very little faith in God and in myself and in just everything in general. And I remember one night I was so down bad, like I was just so sad and, depressed. And I just remember I prayed and I was telling God, I was like, I'm not happy. Like, the things that I'm going through, I'm just not really feeling good. Like, this is not really me. Like, I don't really like the person that I'm becoming or whatever the case may be. Went on a full blown rant while I was praying. And the emotions started to flood. Okay. The emotions started to come out. And when I let them emotions out, I felt good afterwards. I was like, okay. Maybe it is time for a new beginning. Maybe it is time for me to move forward and try this thing or try that thing. And after that night, my life changed entirely. Like I started to see a shift in my appearance. I started to see, the way I connected with people change. Like everything changed. So I'm not saying that, you have to pray, but I am saying that when you allow yourself to feel your own emotions and process them in ways that you probably never done before, you will see a shift. Sometimes it's our own emotions that are blocking us because we're angry, we're frustrated, we're tired, like, we're feeling all of these different things. So when you allow yourself to feel and process all that it is that you're going through, you get to move forward, you know? So if you feel stuck and stagnant, maybe a sign that it's time to start going within. And I think that's why shadow work is so important, because shadow work promotes healing and feeling those emotions. And I think it's such a very important part of this step process because we don't give ourselves space to process what we're going through. We don't give ourselves time to just look back and be like, wow, I've survived all this. Wow, I'm doing this. I'm making this happen. So sometimes we need that so that we can reflect and we can see how far we've come. We can see what we've overcome. We can see everything. And it allows us that okay from our soul, from ourself, to move forward. And it brings us a lot closer to our manifestations than sitting in the same old place thinking that we're not doing anything, thinking that we're wasting time and all that other stuff. So that third step is very, very important, but it doesn't have to be you crying. It can really just be you, reflecting and looking at, how far you've come. So the last tip, or not tip, but the last step is to create. So we do all these things, we let go of the clutter, we release, we cry, we laugh, we do our thing. Okay. And then after that, we create. Why? Why do we create? Because we go from releasing our old life to creating our new life. Okay. So you don't want to go back in time to where you just were like 5 seconds ago. So we're going to just make up a name. Let's say Dan. We got Dan here. Okay. Dan is 25 years old. Dan has no sense of direction. Dan doesn't know what Dan wants in life. Dan is just confused. Dan is tired. Dan is overwhelmed and overworked. So Dan doesn't really know what's next for him, right? Dan feels like this is it. Like, we're going to stay at this job the rest of our lives. We're just going to do the same old thing, and nothing's going to basically happen or come from this because we're just kind of repeating a cycle here, right? So one day, Dan walks into a store and he meets this guy. We're going to call this guy John because I'm just thinking of names off the top of my head. John tells Dan that this is not all that there is to life because, Dan's complaining. He's like, oh, I hate this job. I don't want to work here no more. I want to go. I'm tired. I want to start a family, all that other stuff, right? So John tells Dan, you don't have to live this life. You don't have to do these things anymore. Like, you can change up your lifestyle, because if you feel uncomfortable in this space, then that's just a sign that you're not happy in this space. So Dan's like, well, what do I do? And John's like, well, let me tell you what you can do. Let me tell you what you can do. You could follow these. I'm like, is it 4 steps? You could follow these 4 steps, okay? So he tells Dan, first thing you need to do is take back control over your life. Take back your power. Reclaim that you are this person, whoever it is that you want to be. Affirm that for yourself. And then I want you to get rid of anything and anybody that is taking up space, that is making you unhappy, that is promoting this mood that you're in, this uncomfort, this discomfort. I mean to say, why did I say uncomfortable? I was going to say uncomfortable feeling. But anyways, we're going to release these things that don't serve us anymore. And we're going to reflect. And while we're reflecting, some emotions may come up. We may get a little sad. So cry, okay? And when you're done doing that, Dan, I need you to get in a room and I need you to just write out everything that you want, whether you're writing it down on the list, whether you're writing it out as a story, whether you're painting a picture, whether you're making a vision board, whatever you decide to do, I want you to create your own reality, okay? So Dan's like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And he sits on it for a little bit because Dan ain't really sure about this. This is a random stranger coming up to him, telling him about some 4 C's. And he thought he was talking about curls. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. So Dan goes home and Dan's like, okay, I don't even know what to do with myself still. Still don't know what to do because Dan just got some advice from a stranger. It's very hard to listen to strangers sometimes. So he sits with himself and he thinks about how he's not in control and how he's holding on to things that don't serve him anymore. And he's also not looking at the bigger picture. And then lastly, he's not making an effort to make his world his own. So he follows those steps and he thinks about what it is that's took so much control away from him. What's taking away his power? The job. It's draining. It's a dead end. It's doing nothing for him but keeping him at a low space, mentally, physically, emotionally. He checks out. He's like, okay, this job. And then he thinks about his mom, because Dan's mom is so controlling and is so big and adamant on having him live this perfect life. And he's not happy with that perfect life because that perfect life makes him unhappy. And it makes him feel like he's not doing enough. And it makes him feel like he has to prove himself. So he points it out. His mom, she's playing a very big role in the reason as to why he is not in control of his life. And then he realizes that these things that are taking away his power are the same things that he needs to be releasing. Okay? So he goes on about releasing those things. And he takes him a nice warm shower and he chills for the rest of the night. And then all of a sudden, he starts to get a little sad. And he gets sad because he feels like he's wasted so much time pleasing other people and making everybody else happy and making sure everybody else's needs are met. But he never really took the time out to make sure he got what he needed. So that makes Dan a little sad because Dan feels like, well, damn, I've went 25 years and I ain't done a damn thing for myself. So then he thinks to himself, okay, well, if I could do anything for myself, what would it be? Dan wants to be a movie star. Dan wants to be on the big screen. He wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants people to come to him and he could sign their autograph. So he wants to be a big movie star. So he writes all that out. He makes this big old deal. He puts pieces together. This is basically the blueprint for his new life, for the life that he wants to live, the life that he desires. So Dan takes it upon himself to release and rejuvenate and create and move forward into this new life. And the rest is history. I'm sure we all know where Dan is now, right? Well, hopefully we know where Dan's at. But Dan is us. Dan is for the people that, feel like they have nothing to live for, feel like they have no purpose, or feel like they have no reasoning to, make something happen. You are the reason. You don't need any other reason as to why you're manifesting the things that you're manifesting, because you are the reason. Okay. You are the reason you get out of bed every day. You are the reason why you got clothes on you. You're the reason. Like, I know our parents played a very big part growing up, but now as adults, you are the reason for a lot of these things. You are the reason. I just want y'all to put that in the comments. I am the reason. You don't need to have 50,000 reasons as to why you want to manifest a car, or why you want to be financially free, or why you need, a new wardrobe, or why you need, whatever it is. You are enough to be that reason. You are enough. And that's something that we have to realize. If we don't tell ourselves that we are just as important, or that we matter, that our dreams matter, and our goals matter, and our happiness matters, then we're going to be stuck living in a lie and holding ourselves back and feeling like our dreams are too far to reach. But that's not the truth. The biggest key factor in manifesting is confidence. That is probably one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to manifestation. If you're not confident in yourself, it's going to be very hard to attract the things that you're trying to attract. It's going to be very hard to be like, okay, I can have this. So let me tell y'all something that I do on a daily basis. Okay. On a daily basis, I'm like, oh, I already have that. That's already mine. We're going to speak it into existence. Okay. We've heard that term before many, 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 many times. We speak things into existence daily, even when we're just talking, having a conversation with friends, or whatever the case may be, on social media, tweeting and making posts or whatever. We're constantly speaking into our lives. It may not show up immediately. Sometimes it does, but it may not show up immediately, but it's going to show up. It's going to show up eventually. Okay. So I'll tell y'all about that too, how it backfired on me. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all how this backfired. So I was writing a book about this girl who was in a very abusive, toxic relationship, ended up getting pregnant, having a miscarriage. Why did that shit happen to me? Why did that shit happen to me? This is before I even met the dude. This is all happening simultaneously. So I write the book, and then a month or two later, I meet the guy that does it to me, basically. So we're constantly speaking into our own lives, even if we're not intending to. Sometimes it just happens that way. So I'm going to tell y'all one little trick tip, and it's the smallest thing. It is the smallest thing ever. Okay. But this is probably one of the best ways to manifest. If you're not going to do any of those things that I mentioned before, do this. Okay. I want you to think of whatever it is that you're manifesting, right? Tell yourself that you already have it. Tell yourself that's mine. That car is already mine. It's already in my name, already paid for. I got the key right here. Okay. You may not have the physical key. You may not have the physical key, guys. You may not have it physically, but you got it in here, and you got it in here. It's within you, which means that it's going to come to you in the physical. Okay. So this is how we reprogram the subconscious mind. When we start to create our own reality and we tell ourselves, I'm not living like Dan anymore. I'm living like John. We're gonna live like John. John's already living that life. He's about that. He already doing what he's supposed to be doing. Dan is who he used to be. Okay, Dan is the old us. Now we're John. John's already manifesting and getting everything in his life because he knows the trick. He knows the tips. He knows the tools and resources. So I want you guys to just sit with yourselves for a second and ask yourselves, am I happy with what I'm doing right now? Am I happy in this current path? Am I happy with, my life? Am I happy with my job? Am I happy with this or that, whatever it is? Ask yourself, are you happy with it? And then from there, figure out why. What is it about it? Is it too much? Is it too overwhelming? You just want a different scenery? Do you need to be around different people? Do you need to, just clean up? Because cleansing, and all that good stuff is necessary. And then take the time to think about what you really want, because sometimes we don't think about what we really want. We care about what other people want. We want to make sure we're fulfilling everyone else's needs, but it's important that you fulfill your own needs too. Your needs matter. Your dreams matter. Your manifestations matter. Your goals matter. You matter. So you have to make sure that you're giving yourself the space and the opportunity to draw out what that looks like. What does it look like to have everything that you ever wanted? What does it feel like to have it? And what is it like to know that you can already experience these things? There's a you out here that is already experiencing these things. There's a you out here that already has that car. There is a you out here that already has that home. Hell, there's a you out here that already has the love of your life. So when we think about what we want, we should not feel limited to it. We should not feel like, oh, well, I can't experience this because it's too unrealistic. When I hear that, when I hear that something is unrealistic, it kind of pisses me off low key, not high key, because I get it. We're literally on Earth. I get it. People are so used to the 3D. I get it. But it pisses me off just a little bit because nothing is unrealistic. Us being here is insane. Like us being on a planet on a floating rock is already insane. People have made so many different things. People have made my bed. Somebody made that. Somebody made this. Somebody made this. Somebody made it to where we're able to communicate from different countries, from different states. So nothing is unrealistic. It's all in the mind, okay? Manifestation is all in the mind. So make sure that you guys are allowing yourselves to come here first. But I guess if you want it to be in the physical, you have to train your mind somehow, some way, some shape, some form, in whatever way that it works best for you. Some people would rather write it out. Some people would rather visualize. Some people would rather feel it, so on and so forth. So we all have our way of manifesting. We all have a way that we contribute to our path. So how are you contributing to your path? What are you doing to help bring these manifestations in? So I know that a lot of people say that after manifesting that you should just let it go. Don't worry about it no more. Leave it, forget about it, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's cool. But you do not want to make yourself feel like your manifestations do not matter, okay? Because they do matter. They matter a lot. It's you telling yourself that this is what you want for your life. And that's a beautiful thing. You have every right to express that. However, you do not want to obsess over it either, okay? So there needs to be a balance. We don't have to necessarily forget about it, but we don't need to overdo it and put ourselves in a position where we think that our manifestations are supposed to come immediately, because this is something that comes in divine timing. People hate divine timing, and it's understandable. I think that a lot of us in this day and age, we get very impatient with things because we're used to either instant gratification or we're used to there being some type of like, okay, I know that I'm getting this on this date. Like I got an Amazon package coming Tuesday. Like I know that's coming Tuesday. With our manifestations, we don't really know when it's coming or how it's coming or where it's coming from. But I think that's where the faith comes in. And we have to learn that, okay, yes, I want this to come and I want it to come by this time period. But God may say that right now is not my time. God may say that, I want you to continue believing and continue having the faith, but you're not getting this thing until you're ready for it, until you've unlocked it, So I don't know if y'all play video games, but with a lot of them, there's like little achievements. I know on Xbox, maybe PlayStation 2, there'll be like little achievements that you unlock when you do a specific thing in the game. This is no different, okay? This is no different. It's all a game, basically. It's all a game. Ooh. Whoa. What the hell? How did that happen? Oh my God. Hold on. I'm gonna need to plug it up. Better. Okay, there we go. I was like, what the fuck is happening? But it's just like a game, you know? So there's levels to this. It's not they were like, yeah, let's turn off the lights. Let's turn off the lights real quick. But I wonder what that was symbolic for. I'm wondering. Maybe it'll come to me. That was wild, though. That was so wild. But yeah, it's like we unlock these things, at a certain point. So it's not that you are being punished for whatever you think you're being punished for. It's just that sometimes we're not as ready as we think we are. Sometimes we think, like for me, for example, okay, I manifested over $10,000 this year, and I received it. You want to know what I did with that $10,000, or I should say $16,000, because that's really what it was $16,000. I blew it. I blew that money. I'm talking about I'm on a shopping spree every single day. Was I ready for that? Was I ready for that? Was I really ready to have that in my possession? The way that I acted, you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm like, oh yeah, money over here, money over there, make it rain. I'm sending my siblings money. I'm like, hey, here's $500 for you. Here's $500 for you. You get 500. You get 500. At that point, I was feeling good about it. I was feeling good. I was like, yes, I get to do all these different things. A part of me felt bad. It was like, oh my gosh, I just spent all that fucking money. I'm like, how dare I spend all that money? Like, that was such a bad idea. Spirit gave me a taste of that so that they could show me what it is like to live the lifestyle that I dream of. So I spent it, I blew it, all of that. We can look at it in the perspective of, oh, she's immature, she doesn't know how to handle her money. I'm irresponsible, whatever. We could play that role. Or we could look at it and we could say that this was an experience to show her how she's going to be living at said time, whether it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now, hell, if it's tomorrow. They're showing me what it's going to be like to live the life that I dreamed of, right? Excuse me. So I said all that to say this. Sometimes we get a taste of our manifestation to see if we're ready for the real thing. Am I ready for the real thing? Like, really, me being honest, am I ready for $1 million right now? I want to be ready for it, but being honest with myself and knowing how I am with money, I know that I have a lot of growing to do in that area. I know that I have a lot of learning to do in that area. And I know that I have to mature more, and be more consistent with my budgeting and my saving and all of that. I know that it's levels to it. It's not just oh, here's $1 million. Do what you want with it, because God wants to make sure that we're doing right by the things that we're bringing into our lives. And it's not to say that I did anything crazy with that money, because I could have went and did some wild shit with that money, okay? But I did it because I did a lot of the things from the heart, and it felt good to just have that in my possession. And God pays close attention to that. the way that you feel when you have these things in your possession, it shows God like, oh, this is a positive reaction. She wants to keep experiencing this. So let's allow her to continue experiencing this, you know?
You tell me?
So you tell yourself, you know, that you want to continue experiencing these things. You want to continue being in that space where, you know, you are making money, you know, you are driving that fancy car, you know, but sometimes it comes in increments. So let's use a car, for example. Say you want a nice little Tesla, right? Just the first thing that came to my mind. You start off with a bucket. You start off with a bucket. You're like, I don't want to drive this piece of shit. I don't want to drive this ugly car. But it's a step to get you to that Tesla. So if you don't want to drive this, then you don't want to drive that Tesla. If this is a piece of shit, because that Tesla might be a piece of shit to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to really think about how you view what you have already. And that's why gratitude is so important. That's probably one of the biggest things that I stress when it comes to manifesting. Treat that piece of shit bucket like it's a Tesla. Okay. Treat that $1 like it's $1 million. Treat that 5 cents like it's a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn to treat the things that you already have as if they are the prized possession that you're manifesting, because that'll also help you bring that in and bring you closer to it because you're feeling that, what it's like to have it, right? Ooh. So kids, be around kids. Okay, this is just a tip. I'm just throwing this out here because this helps a lot. And I know from experience because I have my nieces and nephews. Okay, say what I just said. So basically you're gonna wanna treat whatever it is. Okay, I'll use my car analogy again. So let's say you want a Tesla and that's a car of your dreams. You want to have it, you need it in your life, you really longing for it. And before you get that Tesla, you have to get this shitty bucket car that is about to fall to pieces. You're going to want to treat that car like it's a Tesla. You're going to want to treat that Walmart bag like it's a Michael Kors bag. You're going to want to treat your Nike shoes as if they were Balenciagas, because I know people big into designer stuff, but you know, you want to treat the things that you have with the same love and compassion that you're going to give the thing that you're manifesting. So this apartment right now, I'm going to love it like it's a penthouse. I'm going to love it like it's a mansion. I'm going to love it like it's a private island. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just some examples. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully y'all get that, because a lot of people, they have these things and they don't value them, and then they don't really receive anything, you know, because what you give, you receive. And it doesn't have to be to the extent of like, oh, I'm giving, I'm going to give this don't do it with the intent of, oh, well, this is going to help me bring in the Tesla faster, because then it's just going to kind of be counterproductive. You know, you want to do it from the heart. So if you're not ready to look at your Buick as a Tesla, that's perfectly fine. It's all about patience. You know, you want to be patient with yourself when it comes to manifesting, but treat your prized possessions like prized possessions. This hand sanitizer bottle, I'm going to treat this like it's $1 million. Okay, I'm gonna treat this like this. This is $1 million hand sanitizer, y'all. $1 million. Okay. I love you. You know, you want to treat these things as if they are the prized possession itself. And the most important thing of all is knowing that your worth and your value does not even equate to these things. Okay. We are cosmic beings. We literally come from the stars. Like, we are stardust. Like, we are powerful. So don't think for a second that $1 million is even close to your worth, because you are worth more than that. You are worth more than $1 billion. Hell, you're worth more than $1 trillion. So when you start to tell yourself that your worth is infinite, kitty cat, really? When you start to tell yourself that your worth is infinite, you need to get out and go pee. The fact that my door is like squeaking like that. But we're gonna treat that door like it's $1 million door. Period. But yeah, you want to make sure that, you know, you don't view yourself as, oh, I'm just an old loner and I don't really get anything, and I'm just so unworthy and nothing goes my way. You don't want to have that mindset while you're manifesting. When you're manifesting, while you're manifesting, you be like, yeah, this is gonna be easy. This ain't nothing, because I'm I'm a part of the universe. The universe is a part of me. We are one. And anything I get, anything I ask for, it comes to me like this. It comes to me like this because I'm capable of receiving these things. So if you feel like that Tesla is worth more than you, baby, you're going to push that Tesla away. You're going to push that Tesla away because we have to think about the system that we're set in. Okay. The system that we're set in is based on attraction. Okay. Attraction. What are we attracting? You can't attract a Tesla. If a Tesla costs like $1 million or something, and you look at yourself as if you're worth nothing, it's going to be very hard to bring that Tesla into your life because you're basically telling yourself that I ain't shit and I don't deserve a Tesla. So make sure that you're confident in yourself while you're manifesting these things. And you tell yourself, I deserve a Tesla because I said so. Simple as that. You don't have to go into depth like, oh, I'm just this great person and because I said so. Because I said I could have it, so I'm going to have it. God said that I could have it. It's coming from you. This is something that, you get to experience because you allow yourself to. If you don't allow yourself to, then that's where we're going to have to do some reflecting and a little shadow work and reflect on why we feel that way. Why do we feel like we don't deserve a Tesla? Or why do we feel like we don't deserve a nice home or a nice car? If we all had this mindset of I deserve XYZ, a lot of us would be happier, because a lot of us don't feel like we deserve happiness, but we do. We do. You deserve the things that you are manifesting. And that is one of the biggest things that we all have to realize through manifestation. When you tell yourself that you can't, and you tell yourself that it's not going to happen, then you're already telling your mind that you cannot experience this thing. You're telling your mind that. So be mindful of what you're saying to yourself because you're producing a reality that you probably don't even want to live in. So be very mindful of that. Affirmations are great too. If you guys want to use affirmations throughout the day, by all means, go for it. Go for it. Okay. I actually have I don't have it near me, but I have like a little postcard of affirmations for the chakras that I look at daily. And I haven't really been looking at it daily, but I have it. I have it. And, I'll show y'all my vision board on my phone one more time just so we can get the right people to make their vision boards. I see that. This is my life right here in a nutshell. This is basically my life. So the final little method that I'm going to give y'all, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to go more depth with it because I feel like this is the one that, well, hold on. I'm like, did I already mention this one? Because now I'm like, hold on, I might have said this one already. And now I'm losing the step. Anyways, so with manifesting, yeah, I kind of touched on it briefly a little bit earlier, but we're going to get into the depths of it. So this is the law of assumption, right? Now, I did talk about it a little bit earlier, but I'm bringing it up again because why not? Why not? This is probably one of my favorite forms of manifestation because I don't have to do nothing physical. All I got to do is use my mouth. Okay. So you just say, I've already experienced that. I've already been on a yacht. I've already been, and I can go again. You know what I'm saying? Like when you start to tell yourself and affirm it like that, in the sense that you don't already experience this, it makes it quicker. It makes it work a lot better. It makes it more efficient. So, what the fuck? I thought I was on Do Not Disturb. Why are we? Anyways, the law of assumption is great because the law of assumption gives us the ability to experience these things without experiencing them, which means that we're going to have to experience them now because we're telling our mind that we experienced it, but our mind's like, no, we didn't. So our mind is going to produce a reality where we do experience it. Does that make sense? So that's one of my favorite forms of manifesting because it basically gives me that free range to be delusional. And but it really does. It really gives you that space to be delusional, but also like help us bring and reel in that energy, So start telling yourself that you already have that car, you already have that home, you already have those clothes, you already have it. You already have access to it and you're worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? You're worthy of these things. You deserve these things. These things are coming. These things want to be in your life. These things want to come to you. Okay? You don't have to go to it. That's another thing I'm going to say too is that when it comes to your manifestations, don't think that you got to like go forth and conquer and go grab that. Let that shit come to you. Let it come to you. Don't feel like you got to beat yourself down and pin yourself to the wall so that you can get these things. they're going to come regardless. If you do anything or not, they're going to come. And I'm not saying to don't put forth any action, because that speeds up the process and that helps. But don't be sitting here doing the most, trying to make these things come to you. Okay. If you work a specific amount of hours on a daily basis, then don't try to switch your hours up so that you can get closer to that $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it come to you, because you have to have that balance between your masculine and your feminine energy. So yes, let's work. Let's put in the work. Let's take forth some action, but also let's be receptive, and let's allow ourselves to rest, and let's just simply be, so that these things can come to me. Be so these things can come to me. Okay. Be so these things can come to me. That is a word of the day. Kitty cat, I'm not doing this with you. I just let you out. Wow. That's the way he's like going back and forth with me. So does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions, comments, maybe even some tips, tricks of your own? I think that my laptop did that because I got a reading coming up. I deserve to receive self-love, positive purpose, and abundance. Ashe, you do deserve that. When we start to tell ourselves that we deserve these things, it makes it so easier. And it doesn't feel like a guilt thing. We don't feel guilty for wanting these things. So don't feel guilty for wanting the things that you want. Don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad. Don't feel like you can't get them. Don't feel like it's impossible. Like I said, we live on a floating rock. Okay. So if we want to talk about impossible, let's talk about how we're here every single day. Every single day. And then somehow we travel to a different world when we're sleeping, and how we can walk and talk and speak and think, and we can do all of these things except experience things that make us happy. Like let's ditch that narrative. Okay. After today, I want y'all to ditch the narrative that y'all can't have the finer things in life, that y'all can't live good and be happy. And I think that's why and when I say I say the people that I do not like, because they try to control and manipulate us. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. They set us up for failure because they put us in these situations, or they put us in this world where a lot of poverty is going on, a lot of violence is going on. There's drugs, there's war, there's crime, there's so much going on. They don't want us to see beyond that. If we start to see beyond the power struggles, we see beyond the poverty, and we see beyond, the disease, and when we see beyond that, we see a world that we didn't think we could live in. Some people don't think, like for me, for example, I grew up in a low-income household. Should have been homeless. Well, I was homeless at one point, but that's besides the point. I grew up in an environment where nobody thought that they were going to make it out. Nobody thought that they were going to be big movie stars or be basketball. No one thought that they were able to get out of their circle, their inner circle. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. Like, people do not think that they could come out of these spaces. They don't think that they can survive outside of what they're used to. You are not your past. You are not what people have done to you. You are not the things that people say to you. You are not your trauma. Not at all. So let's not hold on to that narrative. Let's not hold on to the narrative of, oh, well, this happened to me when I was younger, so I can't experience this, that, the third. Who said that? Who said that you couldn't? You can, and you will make this happen, whatever it is. And I'm speaking into every single one of y'all in here tonight. Y'all can experience the things that you want to experience. You are not limited to your past. You do not have to keep experiencing that. We don't have to be a hamster on a wheel doing the same little motion, going in the same direction. We can experience much more than that. Every single one of you, y'all have that luxury. You have the power of your own mind. And that is what's going to get you to where you're trying to be. So I'm going to go over the 4 C's one more time. And I'm going to get y'all out of here. Okay. So the first C is control. Take back your power from any and everybody. I mean, call your power back to you. I'm calling back all of the energy that belongs to me. That's simple. 2, cleanse your body, cleanse your space, release anything, anybody that you feel is taking up your space, your energy, releasing any blockages, so on and so forth. 3 is cry. Cry, allow yourself to feel what it is like to shed that skin, okay? Allow yourself to cry. And then 4 is create. Create your new reality. Whatever it is that you want to experience, create that experience for yourself, whether it's through thought, whether it's through journaling, whether it's through speaking it into existence, whether it's whatever it's through, allow yourself to create. Okay, so I'm gonna go over them again for Christina Aguilera, but I'm gonna go over them again. So the first one is control. Take back your power, control your life. 2 is cleanse. Cleanse your space, cleanse your energy, aura, etc. 3 is going to be to cry and allow yourself to feel so that you can allow yourself to move forward. And then the last one is to create. So create something, have fun with manifesting, make the most of it, jump for joy while you're manifesting. Also, music. Hold on a second. How did I forget this one? Music, okay? I think that can go into create, but still, music is such a very big part of this reality. And it is a big part of how we, get through the day and how we live our lives. And it's just a beautiful, magical tool that I really recommend we utilize when it comes to manifestation. Make you a playlist, okay? I want you to make a playlist of all the songs that make you feel like you that girl, you that guy, you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire, you're on a yacht, you got that whatever song that reminds you of that thing that you want to experience. Put all those songs in a playlist. And when you get in that mood and you feel like you can do it, I just want you to press shuffle. I want you to press shuffle and allow the song, the music to move you and groove you and whatever else that it does. The music is so, so, so helpful. And I really, really recommend that we all utilize it to our best ability because music is very, very helpful. And I'm gonna play a song from my playlist because I have a playlist. I got my little playlist. So I'm gonna shuffle a song. I ain't gonna let it play all the way because I won't get copyrighted. But I'm gonna play just a little bit of it. Maybe a song for all of us, honestly. Where is it at? Oh, here it is. So this is the playlist. It's that girl. Okay. So I'm gonna hit shuffle. That's loud. So this is basically a song by Mulatto. But anyways, y'all get the point. Get you a playlist full of songs that make you feel good, make you feel empowered, make you confident, make you feel like your manifestations is on the way. Okay. Affirm that. You gotta affirm it for yourself. Okay. If you don't see it happening, no one else can see it for you. And that's the most important part of all. So I want y'all to be believers. I want y'all to believe in yourselves. I want y'all to believe in the manifestations that y'all are working towards, the goals that y'all have, the dreams that y'all have. They are not far. They're not as far as you think. Okay? They're not that far. Allow whatever it is that you want to come to you. Allow it to come to you. Don't try to get in the way. Don't be like, oh, well, when I say control, you take control over you. Allow your manifestations to do their thing. But yeah, I know y'all had said some stuff. I'm sorry, I was not even looking at the comments, but I think I am just modest, so used to dumbing myself down to appease others. I don't have a problem thinking it, but speaking it. Practice makes perfect. It's one of those things where in the beginning, it's uncomfortable. It's not really something that you either want to do, or it's just something that just doesn't feel right to you, or it feels a little weird. So it's not really going to be easy. But as long as you're trying, I think that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I think that God is going to see your attempt. God isn't going to be like, oh, she's doing such a terrible job. Let's just not reward her. I think it's more so like, I see that they're trying. I see that they want better. And God's going to continue to produce situations in our lives that do make it easier for us. So all you got to do is take that first step. Everybody in here, all we got to do is take that first step. And what is the first step, y'all? Control. So take control. Okay. I might make like a little infographic for that so that y'all can look at it. I know people are probably going to be like, oh, I forgot what you said. So I'm gonna make a little infographic for that. But I love you guys so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been a great episode. If I didn't have a client to meet with next, I would probably stay on a little bit longer, but I got to get ready for that. So I appreciate you guys for coming to the live. I hope that y'all learned something new. I hope that this has helped y'all and this has gave y'all something to take with y'all in y'all's journey, and make manifestation a little bit easier. So I love you guys. Don't forget to hydrate, meditate, and I will see you guys next time. And also, hold on, before I leave, make sure y'all go get y'all's tickets for the Divine Feminine, okay? If y'all want to learn how to attract and then just make things come into your life naturally and how to be in your feminine and balance your masculine energy as well, go get the tickets for that. Same place you got tickets to come here. So go sign up for that. Next week, I got a whole bunch of cool stuff coming. So I hope to see y'all there. Love you guys. Don't forget that I love y'all, okay? Don't forget. And don't forget that y'all can make anything happen, okay? Y'all hold the power. You don't need nobody or nothing else to make those manifestations come to you. You are the reason, okay? I love you guys. I will see y'all next time. Bye.